This is Hardy Brute, and today I'm going to be playing Instruments of Destruction. Some big Tonka toys for some big boy fun. So let's get it started. So our first mission is to destroy 4 structures and 80% of the buildings. Each mission they give you a random vehicle. Every vehicle is different mission to mission, and this one happens to have 4 to 5 saw blades on the front to just mow things down. There's at least 130 vehicles in the game, and each mission can be replayed as a challenge with a different vehicle to unlock. There's 5 total islands. Each island has 6 missions, and a bonus mission, with 50 plus missions just in the campaign. And I'd like to complete the first 2 islands today. But this is our last building to destroy. We're at 73%, so we gotta destroy some of the fences as well. And we're so close. The temples in the rock don't actually count. They're a different structure. So we gotta maneuver over this rock and destroy the fence over here. Get that sweet, sweet 3rd star. The number of stars you get unlocks the bonus missions, which you can use any vehicle you've unlocked on. And just completing the mission allows you to replay it with a different vehicle, but I'm not going to do that today. So now we have to destroy 75% of the buildings, and only 25% of the ruins.
Steer clear of the ruins if you can.
And we're a big ball now. But we've got the hops. Can we land on the building? We can land close enough. Big explosion at the end. And we already killed 2% of the ruins, but I think that's okay. So the ruins are definitely the rocks in the front there. So let's land behind and try to take it out from the back. And the ruins are still pristine. Perfect. Let's try to take out the electricity wires as well. They give you a percentage or 2. But this vehicle definitely reminds me of Monkey Ball. The way you just kind of roll around. And you get a really nice explosion when you get those big hops going on. It's pretty hard to control the ball when it's in the air though, going back and forth. Kinda just lands where it wants. And that building kinda crumbled, but we got a nice explosion at the end. Up to 66%. Avoid those ruins. And take out the lone building in the background over here. Can we land in the middle? Ooh, that's gonna be nice. It slowed us down so it stopped our explosion. But we got a big one at the end there. Perfect. So we got 3 stars on the second mission. And let's move on. So now we have to submerge 25 containers and destroy 75% of the buildings. And this time it looks like we got some sort of bulldozer. With an extendable end too. Looks like it's on hydraulic pistons that just push out. Got a ton of containers there. Up to 7 now. We destroyed that building. There's no reason to go down to the ruins down there. And I like extending the plow right at the end. Get the most push. You do have to be careful though, because if you go too fast, you'll just drive right over the edge. So you really have to control your movement. This machine also comes with a hover ability. And not just hover, but a fly. This kind of goes beyond hovering. And they said nothing about the ruins, so that's their own fault there. We've got quite a bit of these structures, with the final one being on the island over there. A lot of the containers just right here in front of us. This could actually be all the containers. 21, I think we're missing 1. No, there's actually 1 hidden over there. So we completed the mission. But I would like that 3rd shiny star. It will make me feel better about myself. So let's hover over to the island and take out the building. And get that sweet, sweet validation and those 3 stars. This game's also pretty forgiving. You can skip a mission if you don't like it, or if you don't want to try to attempt it. On to mission 4. Destroy 5 towers and submerge 10 containers. So this one's very similar, but now we have rocket boosters and a much faster piston. So we took out that tower, and now we're gonna take it off to the air. This is awkward. So let's just pretend that never happened, and try it again. Maybe a bit slower this time. And let the piston do the work. It's a good thing it's shallow over here. And this container is no longer highlighted, so we did get this one as well. Let's take out these containers. Made it to the island and destroyed it, nice. There's a bit of depth between the islands, so we can't drive slowly over. But we did make it to the second island. So much speed, it's hard to control, especially with our tail swinging back and forth. Got that tower as well. So we need 2 more towers and 5 more containers. There's 2 more over here on the end. And they just went flying. Container here, and a tower there that exploded from the container. What are in these containers? And we've got 1 final tower, and 2 more containers. But the final tower is up here, on the side. A little bit easy to take out. And the 2 containers are across the way, I see. Hey, another big explosion. So let's go through the ruins underneath, just for fun. And then we can circle around and get the 2 containers. Unless, of course, we flip over. And proceed to start breakdancing. Do a sweet, sweet spin out. And with that, I think I'm just going to end the mission. I can always come back and get the 3rd star by myself. But we had some sweet moves at the end. So let's move on to mission 5. Destroy 95% of buildings within 5 minutes. That doesn't seem so bad. And we got the contender vehicle, who launches a big fist on active, and everything just explodes around it. That is very powerful and very cool. Just obliterate those buildings. And we can actually swap vehicles in this one too. So it looks like we can control this hover hauler. Now this one feels more like a hover building, and not so much flying. So I can't really talk bad about this one. And we've got 2 more islands that we haven't visited yet. Looks like there's at least 3 buildings here. And we launched ourselves off. So let's take out the buildings. The first few times I played, I wasn't aware that you could swap and can control the hover vehicle. So I sat inside, tried to punch myself across the lake, and it sort of worked. I was able to get to this island, but I couldn't ever leave this island. So we got 1 building here, a couple in the back, and the 3rd island to still explore. It just gets obliterated from the punches. And we can't leave too much debris, too much standing structure, because we do need to get 95%. We already got 1 more percent. Destroyed the back section, now we're up to 70%, that's pretty good. So let's grab the hover, go to the next island. A lot of the islands are curved, and they're curved downwards. So if you try to drive into your hover, a lot of times you'll drive into the ocean, and you won't be able to come out. So let's get on the edge here, swap the vehicles, and just slam it in, and take off. Go around the side here. We're definitely taking the scenic route. We probably should have parked in the front of the island, so we wouldn't have to do these long arches around. Because the hover doesn't do very good at turning. It does well when you're going forward and backwards though. You got some speed going. This island looks like there's 2 different structures, and we could have probably destroyed some of them with the hover. It just would have taken a long time. So we're already up to 83%. And we got that whole structure in the back over there. 91. And this should just instantly give it to us. Yeah, nice. That sweet, sweet 3-star. And we had plenty of time, as soon as I figured out how to use that hover. So that was mission 5. We've got one more mission on this island. Destroy 100% of the buildings, submerge 30 containers, and you only got a minute and a half, wow. So this vehicle is pretty fast. It's also got a sweet blast ability. Sends a little bomb around yourself, which just pushes everything away. But he definitely glides around, kind of like you're on ice. But we've got some good push here. We can really launch the containers. And I can see you skating from island to island, doing one big arch around. But if you miss one building, one container, you'd have to loop all the way back. Like the container we have here in the back. That actually barely fell in the water, that's nice. I did not want to loop around for it. But so far we're doing a pretty good clear. I don't think we've missed anything. Get the island in the middle. And swoop around the outside again. I think we have one more island to go. And one hidden container in the back. So I think this is the final section here. As long as we didn't miss anything. We destroyed all the buildings. And that's actually the final container. Perfect. Had 10 seconds to spare, and we got that sweet, sweet 3-star. A lot of destruction in that vehicle. Well, we finished off the island. Now we're going on to island number 2. Destroyed 90% of the buildings, and only 10% or less of the ruins. So we gotta be precise. Ooh, I like the extender in this one. It's a bit wider, and it goes a bit further. You can really be precise with it. So we don't want to destroy any of the rocks, if we can help it. And 90% of the buildings. The natives are taking it back. And what is holding up this building? The electrical wires? Yeah, it sort of seemed like it. That was super weird. But we got 23%. Looks like there's a lot of ruins in between the buildings. So let's just take them out one by one. Try to be precise. %, we can probably knock over 2 or 3 of the pillars by accident. That one counted as 2%. Maybe it's 3 or 4% if we fully destroy it. Because we only half destroyed that pillar. I sure hope all the people evacuated before we came here. Ooh, the rolling pipe hit the one in the back there. So we got another 3%. Pushes up to 5. We've got 3 more buildings. And 2 big silos. Hopefully those won't fall towards the ruins. And they'll just fall backwards. Or to the left here. But the buildings seem the easiest. And let's try to take the silo from the side. And it landed straight on us. Well, luckily it fell towards the ruins that we already destroyed, so that didn't really damage us too bad. Took care of the building. And the final silo over here. And that one just slowly fall into the back, perfect. We're at 8%. Got 2 more buildings. But we may get it just here from this building. 85%. That was just the left side. And the right side. Excellent. So we got our sweet, sweet 3 stars. And so we got 5 missions left. On to number 2. Destroy 90% of the buildings within 3 minutes. 10% or less of the ruins. So the vehicle's called the Bomb Bowler. He launches out little balls and they explode. Nice. That was a near miss there. But let's fill the building with bombs. An excessive amount of bombs. But we did destroy it. And we saved the ruins. For now, at least. So let's go get some of the buildings in the background. And that was a nice shot. Gave us a big hole to fill with bombs. And pushed us up to around 50%. Lots of ruins around here too. Try to make a little hole there. Nice, now we can just fill it with bombs. We did a little collateral damage, but that's okay. Let's take out this structure here. Let's try to take out the car. It goes flying. And finish all the rest of the building. With a ton of bombs in the corner. Nice. We took out all the structures, but there has to be one back here past the dust. And casually take out some ruins. At least we didn't use any bombs. Oh, we got a little opening here. Perfect for the bombs. Yeah, we got our sweet 3 stars. And we did pretty good keeping the ruins alive. Besides the one we drove right into. On to mission 3. Destroy 8 structures. 80% of the buildings destroyed. Ooh, this looks cool. It's got big buzzsaws, a platform. I think I know what's going on here. The buzzsaws are extending. We're gonna cut the building. Drop it on our little platform. As soon as we get every little part. Very slowly so it doesn't slide off. Try to position ourselves to hit these silos back there. And then just fling it. And hope we hit it. Oh, we're too high. Wow. Come on, man. Well, this building is heavier. It's a bigger building. So this one shouldn't fling as far. So we'll use the same approach. It's a little bit off on the side. Hopefully this one will hit. Give it a little more distance, because I don't want it to go over the top. And that was nice. We got one of the silos and half of the other one. But we need 80%, which is quite a bit. So we gotta hit most of these shots. So let's try to clean up these silo when they left. Fling this big building and just see what happens. And ooh, it was close. The debris fell on it. We were too high again. So let's move on to the middle section. There's 3 silos there. It looks like there's a couple silos in the back as well. Hope this tower doesn't get in our way. Because he's hanging right on us. Yeah, you fall over there, buddy. This looks pretty good. Ooh, we got the top there. They fling just a bit too high, though. They really have to hang them off the edge or something. 44%. If we get another good hit here... Ooh, this one's not on the platform. So we gotta spin to the left, try to get back on the platform. It's still falling. Come on, man. This tower there, slowed it down, now it's falling the other way. Aw, man, come on. That still looked pretty cool, though. So I'm not that mad. We can flip it, though, without extending it. But I'm not sure if that'd be the best approach either. So our last attempt at the middle ones. I think it's too high. It's barely too high. It brushed it though. That's so sad. Well, this level, the bonus objective is incredibly hard. Destroying 8 structures? There's 8 buildings over here. You can't really fail this one. But the bonus, the extra star, the validation, it is so far away. Oh, and finally it fell. It was stuck on something. Let's try to get these side ones. Well, looks like a decent angle. And we did clip it there on the side, nice. So we actually hit all 3 of the silos. We just didn't fully destroy them, or hit them right on. It was more like the tip, and this one disintegrated while we were throwing it. So there was just no chance there. We got pretty close, 74%. And I can always redo that mission at some point and try to get the 3rd star. But let's go on to mission number 4. Destroy 6 structures, 90% of the buildings. And this one looks like it's got a wrecking ball. More of a classic destroyer. It's called the Wrecker. We just launched that car around too. Just flailing our big ball around. Lots of structures. But we've got lots of time. Destroy 6 of these structures. 90% of buildings. Just get out of here, Silo. Right down the middle of the building, too. Just destroy every part of it. There's a bit of a shockwave when the ball comes all the way up and down. But that's pretty hard to do when there's so many things to hit with it. A lot of times the ball just flails around wildly, hitting everything in its path. Another big building. This one should count as a structure, because I'm not sure those small ones do, or the silos. Because we've destroyed a lot of stuff. Much more than just 2. But we're running down the side here. And then we gotta return back to the middle. But this one's also probably a structure. It looks big enough. We just destroyed the middle, and there's just a wall left on the side. And it fell over all on its own, perfect. 3 of 6 structures. About halfway done. See, that was definitely an explosion right there. But a lot of times the ball doesn't hit the ground directly. So you don't get that big hit. So we just got this middle section here. And we might have to return back to that building we didn't completely destroy. But I imagine we'll have enough without going back over there. But the big 3 in front of us, they look like the last 3 structures, with that side one just being some more percentage. This one just crumbled in on itself. Feel bad for that building. It just had no chance of being a building. And now we're just flailing around. Whipping it up and down all around. We haven't actually gotten any structures, but these ones are still sort of standing. And the side building is destroyed in the middle. And now it's just crumbling. And so we just got to 4 buildings. And we should get a 5th just by destroying the debris here. Nice. So now there's just 1 solo building left. And hopefully it'll give us enough percentage. And that way we won't have to scavenge too much for the 90%. Destroyed the roof. That looks so cool when the ball just goes right down the middle. The entire wall on the left is cracked. It is not very stable anymore. Yeah, we can just drive through it. And we got our 3 stars. Perfect. So let's move on to the next mission. Mission number 5. 60% of the building destroyed. Only use 15 of your ammo. 90% building destruction is the bonus. So we're a little tank called the Detonator. We have a fire and a detonate. So this doesn't seem like a cannon. Or like explosive charges. Yeah, so you fire it and then you trigger it. Get the big silo to fall on the little ones. I guess that's what you're supposed to do. 90% is going to be pretty hard though. Especially with only 15 ammo. Let's try to get this back one to fall on the building. Make a hole and explode it from the inside. Well, that one just fell on its own. Let's destroy the building a bit. So we opened it up here. So let's do one more. And then let's try to get this silo next to us to fall on the building and take it out completely. So shoot it at the base. Open it up and explode it. It's going right for the building, nice. We did some decent damage there. 40%, still got 5 bullets. That 90% is going to be very, very hard. You really have to know which buildings are going to fall, and where. Well, let's shoot these 2 silos in the back, and see where they fall. Explode it, open it up. So it falls forward, and it does run into the silos, okay. This one's also going to fall on its own. And it also takes out the silo. So we found 3 of the buildings that actually domino downwards. We got 1 more bullet. And we can't even destroy anything. Well, we did make the 60% at least. I'm going to have to play this one quite a bit to figure out which buildings to destroy. But this is the final mission of Island 2. Destroy 20 cars in 2 minutes. So we're kind of like on a sled. Got a big rocket in the back, and drills in the front. And we gotta take out 20 of the cars. And it's always easier when they come to you. Got a nice 4 there. And another 5. So we got half of them. Definitely got half of them. Within 30 seconds. So let's go back to the main road, because they just do a little circuit here. Try to take out the rest of them. A lot of them spun out over here. We took out 3 of them in one smash. This one's upside down. He almost recovered. The last guy's trying to escape, but he's not doing a very good job. I'll let him survive for now. Yeah, they should be coming around from behind. 16. 17. I'll need 3 more. Sometimes you just kind of push them around like Play-Doh, and sometimes they just instantly explode. And I'm not sure the drizzle in the front actually do anything. 19. Gotta get the final car. Put that guy out of his misery. So we got our 3 stars. Did it in a minute and a half. And we completed Island 2. So we completed Island 1, Island 2, and we can move on to Island 3 next time. So if you'd like to see more, let me know. There's still a ton of content for this. Lots of different vehicles to see. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.